Are you struggling to understand monads, currying, or how to write truly side effect-free code in JavaScript? Most developers use JS, but few master the functional paradigm required for high-level certifications and clean architecture. In this video, we will cover JavaScript functional programming practice questions and certification prep. Master JavaScript functional programming with this comprehensive practice question guide. In this video, we dive deep into 30 comprehensive practice questions designed to mirror the JavaScript functional programming certification exam. We cover everything from immutability and pure functions to advanced composition and recursion. Make sure to pause the video after each question to test your knowledge before we reveal the detailed explanation. Which of the following is a core characteristic of a pure function in JavaScript? Option A. It must use the this keyword to refer to its parent scope. Option B. Given the same input, it always returns the same output and has no side effects. Option C. It must modify at least one global variable to ensure state persistence. Option D. It must be asynchronous to prevent blocking the main thread. The correct answer is B. A pure function is a fundamental concept in functional programming. To be considered pure, a function must satisfy two conditions. 1. Determinism. It always produces the same output for the same set of arguments. 2. No side effects. It does not modify any state outside its local scope, like global variables, DOM elements, or files, and doesn't rely on external mutable data. Option B correctly identifies these traits. Options A and C describe impure behaviors, and option D is unrelated to the definition of purity. Which JavaScript array method is considered mutating and should be avoided in functional programming? Option A, map. Option B, filter. Option C, push. Option D, concat. The correct answer is C. In functional programming, immutability is key. Methods like map, filter, and concat return a new array, leaving the original array unchanged. However, the push method modifies, mutates, the original array by adding an element to the end. To maintain immutability, developers often use the spread operator, ARR, element, instead of push. What defines a higher-order function, HOF, in JavaScript? Option A. A function that is defined inside a class constructor. Option B. A function that uses strict mode by default. Option C. A function that takes another function as an argument or returns a function. Option D. A function that has more than 5 parameters. The correct answer is C. Higher-order functions are functions that operate on other functions, either by taking them as arguments or by returning them. Common examples include array, prototype.map, and array, prototype, filter. This is possible in JavaScript because functions are first-class citizens, meaning they can be treated like any other variable. In function composition, what is the standard mathematical direction for combining functions like f, g, x? Option A, left to right. Option B, right to left. Option C, parallel execution. Option D, random order. The correct answer is B. Standard mathematical composition. F ring operator G, X, is evaluated from the inside out, meaning from right to left. First, G, X, is calculated, and the result is passed to F. In programming libraries like Lambda or Lodash-FP, compose works right to left, while pipe works left to right. Which code snippet demonstrates a declarative approach to finding even numbers in an array? Option A. 4. Let I equals O, I less than arranged by length, I plus plus. If ARR I %2 equals O, evens, push, ARR I, closing curly bracket. Option B. Arranged by for each x equals greater than, if x %2 equals O, evens, push, x, closing curly bracket. Option C. Const evens equals arranged by filter. X equals greater than x %2 equals 0. Option D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Declarative programming focuses on what to do rather than how to do it. Option C uses the filter method to declare the desired outcome. All elements that are even. Options A and B are imperative procedural because they explicitly describe the loop mechanics and the steps to modify an external array. What is the primary benefit of currying in JavaScript? Option A. It increases the execution speed of the function. Option B. It allows for partial application of functions, making them more reusable. Option C. It automatically converts asynchronous code to synchronous code. Option D. It prevents the function from ever returning an undefined value. The correct answer is B. Currying is the technique of converting a function that takes multiple arguments into a sequence of functions that each take a single argument. This enables partial application, where you can provide some arguments now and create a new, specialized function that waits for the remaining arguments later. How can you create a shallow copy of an object in JavaScript to avoid mutating the original? Option A. Const new obj equals old obj. Option B. Const new obj equals object, freeze, old obj. Option C. Const new obj equals old obj. Option D. Const new obj equals old obj, copy. The correct answer is C. Using the spread operator old obj creates a new object with the same properties as the old one. Option A just creates a new reference to the same memory location, meaning changes to new obj will affect old obj object, freeze. Option B prevents modification but doesn't create a copy for future changes. Option D is not a standard JavaScript method. To avoid a Stack Overflow error in recursive functions, what optimization do some engines provide? Option A. Garbage collection. Option B. Tail call optimization. TCO. Option C. Event loop polling. Option D. Memoization. The correct answer is B. Tail call optimization, TCO, allows a function to call itself without increasing the call stack depth, provided the recursive call is the very last action in the function. While part of the ES6 spec, support varies across environments, mostly Safari, WebKit. An expression is considered referentially transparent if Option A. It can be replaced with its value without changing the program's behavior. Option B. It uses the transparent keyword in modern JavaScript engines. Option C. It can only be called once during the application lifecycle. Option D. It refers to an object located in the global heap memory. The correct answer is A. Referential transparency is a property of pure functions. If a function always returns the same output for the same input and has no side effects, you could replace the function call, e.g., add 2, 3, with its result, 5, anywhere in your code without affecting the logic. This makes code easier to reason about and test. Which of these actions constitutes a side effect? Option A. Calculating the square root of a number. Option B. Returning a new string in uppercase. Option C. Logging a message to the console. Option D. Adding two numbers passed as arguments. The correct answer is C. A side effect is any change that is observable outside the function other than its return value. Console.log interacts with the external world, the I/O system. Other common side effects include modifying global variables, making API calls, or changing the DOM. What does it mean for functions to be first class in JavaScript? Option A. They are executed before any other part of the script. Option B. They can be assigned to variables, passed as arguments, and returned from functions. Option C. They are automatically optimized by the V8 engine for high performance. Option D. They must be declared at the top of the file. The correct answer is B. In JavaScript, functions are objects. This means they can be used just like any other value, stored in variables or arrays, passed as arguments to other functions, or returned from functions. This is the foundational feature that makes functional programming possible in JS. Which array method should you use if you want to derive a single value from an entire array? Option A, for each. Option B, map. Option C, reduce. Option D, sum. The correct answer is C. The reduce method executes a reducer function on each element of the array, resulting in a single output value, like a sum, an object, or a joined string. Map and filter return arrays, and for each returns undefined. How do closures support functional programming? Option A. By allowing functions to remember the environment in which they were created. Option B. By automatically deleting unused variables to save memory. Option C. By preventing the use of the function keyword. Option D. By forcing all variables to be constants. The correct answer is A. Closures allow a function to capture and retain access to variables from its outer scope even after the outer function has finished executing. This is essential for creating private state, currying, and partial application in functional patterns. What is the output of const pipe equals f g equals greater than x equals greater than g f x pipe x equals greater than x plus 2 x equals greater than x asterisk 3 5? Option A 21. Option B 17. Option C 15. Option D 11. The correct answer is A. This is a pipe left to right composition. 1. The first function, x plus 2, receives 5, resulting in 7. 2. The second function, x asterisk 3, receives 7, resulting in 21. If it were a compose right to left It would be 5 times 3 plus 2 equals 17. When using const to declare an array, which of the following is true? Option A. The array cannot be modified. It is immutable. Option B. The variable binding cannot be reassigned, but the array contents can still be mutated. Option C. The array is automatically frozen by the JavaScript engine. Option D. Any attempt to push to the array will throw a syntax error. The correct answer is B. The const keyword prevents reassignment of the variable name to a new value. However, for reference types like arrays and objects, the internal content, properties, elements, can still be changed. True immutability requires object, freeze, or external libraries like Immutable.js. Which of the following is an example of a built-in higher-order function? Option A. Math.max. Option B. setTimeout. Option C. Array length. Option D. String to lowercase. The correct answer is B. setTimeout is a higher-order function because it takes a callback function as its first argument. Math.max takes numbers. Array length is a property. And to lowercase is a standard method that takes no arguments. What is point-free style in functional programming? Option A. Programming without using decimal points. Integers only. Option B. Defining functions without explicitly mentioning their arguments. Option C. Writing code without using semicolons. Option D. Functions that return undefined. The correct answer is B. Point-free style, or tacit programming, is a way of defining functions where the arguments are not explicitly stated. For example, instead of arranged by map, x equals greater than func x, you write arranged by map, func, This leads to cleaner, more readable code when using composition. In functional programming, how is shared state generally treated? Option A. It is encouraged to improve performance. Option B. It should be avoided to prevent race conditions and unpredictable behavior. Option C. It is managed using the shared keyword. Option D. It is only allowed for string variables. The correct answer is B. Shared state is any variable or object that exists in a shared scope. In FP, we avoid shared state because if a function relies on shared state, its output becomes unpredictable based on when and where the state was changed by other functions. What does the every method return? Option A. A new array with all matching elements. Option B. The first element that matches the condition. Option C. A Boolean indicating if all elements pass the test. Option D. The index of the last element. The correct answer is C. Array prototype every is a declarative method that tests whether all elements in the array pass the provided functions. Test it returns a Boolean value. True, false. In the context of functional programming, what is a monad? Option A. A type of loop that replaces for. Option B. A design pattern that wraps a value in a context and provides a way to apply functions to it. Option C. A JavaScript framework for UI development. Option D. A tool for minifying code. The correct answer is B. Monads, like maybe, either, or promises in JS, are wrappers around values that manage complexity like side effects or null values. They must implement specific methods, like of, and, chain, flat map, to allow for predictable data flow. Is math, random, a pure function? Option A. Yes, because it is built into the language. Option B. Yes, because it always returns a number. Option C. No, because it returns a different value every time it is called. Option D. No, because it modifies the global scope. The correct answer is C. Math, random, is impure because it violates the principle of determinism. A pure function must return the same output for the same input. Since math, random, produces different results on every call without any input changes, it is impure. Which of the following creates a deep copy of a nested object? Option A. Object, assign, opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket, obj. Option B. Obj. Option C. JSON, parse, JSON, stringify, obj. Option D. Obj, slice. The correct answer is C. Options A and B only perform a shallow copy, meaning nested objects are still passed by reference. JSON, parse, JSON, stringify, obj, creates a full deep copy, though it has limitations with functions and dates. Modern JS also provides structured clone, for this purpose. Convert the function add a, b, into a curried version. Option A. Const add equals a equals greater than b equals greater than a plus b. Option B. Const add equals a, b, equals greater than a plus b. Option C. Const add equals a plus b equals greater than a. Option D. Const add equals a, b, equals greater than a plus b. The correct answer is A. The syntax a equals greater than b equals greater than a plus b represents a function that takes a and returns a function that takes b which then returns the sum. This allows you to call it like add 5, 10, What is the result of compose f, g, x, where f, x, equals x plus 1 and g, x, equals x asterisk 2 and x equals 5 Option A, 12. Option B, 11. Option C, 6. Option D, 10. The correct answer is B. Composition runs right to left. 1. G. 5. Is 5 times 2 equals 10. 2. F. 10. Is 10 plus 1 equals 11. If it were pipe, left to right, the result would be 5 plus 1, asterisk 2 equals 12. What is the base case in a recursive function? Option A. The largest possible input the function can handle. Option B. The condition that stops the recursion from continuing infinitely. Option C. The first time the function is called in the program. Option D. A backup function used if the main one fails. The correct answer is B. Without a base case, a recursive function would call itself forever, eventually leading to a Stack Overflow error. The base case provides a simple condition where the function returns a value without making another recursive call. Which statement about declarative programming is true? Option A. It relies heavily on for and while loops. Option B. It focuses on describing the logic of computation without describing its control flow. Option C. It is impossible to implement in JavaScript. Option D. It requires more code than imperative programming. The correct answer is B. Declarative programming is a style that expresses the logic of a computation, the what, without explicitly detailing the control flow, the how. Functional programming is a subset of declarative programming. The !map method is an example of which functional programming concept? Option A. Recursion. Option B. Functor. Option C. Mutation. Option D. Imperative logic. The correct answer is B. In functional terms, a functor is something that can be mapped over. Since arrays have a !map method that obeys certain laws, identity and composition, they act as functors. What is the benefit of immutability in UI frameworks like React? Option A. It allows for extremely fast shallow comparisons to detect state changes. Option B. It prevents the user from clicking buttons too fast. Option C. It makes the code run in a separate thread. Option D. It removes the need for CSS. The correct answer is A. If state is immutable, the framework can check if data has changed simply by comparing object references. Old obj == new obj . If state were mutated, the framework would have to deep compare every property, which is much slower. Which of the following is an example of an idempotent operation? Option A. Math.abs. -5. Option B. Array, push, 1. Option C. Fetching data from a random user API. Option D. Counting the number of clicks on a button. The correct answer is A. An operation is idempotent if performing it multiple times has the same effect as performing it once. Math.abs. -5. Will always result in (5) regardless of how many times you call it. In contrast, push 1 changes the array size every time it's called. Why is functional programming often preferred for unit testing? Option A. Because it doesn't require any testing frameworks. Option B. Because pure functions are predictable and have no hidden dependencies, side effects. Option C. Because functional code is always shorter. Option D. Because it only works with numbers. The correct answer is B. Pure functions are easy to test because they are isolated. You provide an input and assert an output. You don't need to mock a database, a global state, or a complex environment, making tests fast and reliable. That concludes our 30-question deep dive into JavaScript functional programming. How many did you get right? If you found some of the concepts like monads or currying tricky, don't worry, these take time and practice to master. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dive programming content. For the complete practice exam suite and study guide, check the link in the description below.